Listen to this if you feel stuck and wonder when your moment will come. Listen to this if you've been waiting so long that you're starting to believe maybe it was never meant for you. Because I need you to understand, the moment everything changed for me, it didn't look like success. It didn't come with fireworks. It wasn't obvious. It was quiet. And it started in a season where I felt just like you, lost, overlooked, and wondering if all my effort even mattered. See, most people think breakthroughs come when the world recognizes you. But the truth is, they come long before that, when you recognize yourself. I want you to lean in right now, because what I'm about to say might just be your turning point. I used to sit there asking God, asking life, asking the universe, when is it going to be my time? And every day that nothing changed, I thought maybe the answer was but here's what I didn't see at first. The delay was not denial. The waiting was not wasted. It was preparation. And the second I shifted from begging for the opportunity to becoming the person who was ready for it, everything changed. Not overnight, but it started. I stopped waiting for someone to open the door and started preparing like the door was already open. Let me ask you, are you waiting or are you preparing? Because the truth is, your moment is not going to come looking for you if you're hiding in fear or frustration. Your moment will come when you decide to show up ready, even when no one's watching. The moment everything changed for me was when I stopped measuring my progress by applause and started measuring it by obedience. Obedience to my calling, to my purpose, to that small voice inside that said, keep going. I know you feel stuck. I know you feel behind, but listen, you're not behind. You're being prepared. And if you could see what's on the other side of this season, you wouldn't be asking when, you'd be asking how fast can I get ready? I'm telling you right now, don't miss this season. Don't curse the ground where your roots are growing deep. Because when the wind comes, when the opportunity shows up, only those with deep roots will be able to stand. Everything changed for me when I realized that the waiting season was the working season. That's when the shift happened. That's when doors started to crack open. Not because I knocked louder, but because I was ready to walk through them without hesitation. And you, yes, you have a moment like that waiting for you too. It's not tomorrow, it's not next year. It starts the second you decide you're not going to let this waiting season be a wasted season. So, listen to this to the end, because I'm going to walk you through exactly how I went from stuck to unstoppable, from frustrated to focused, from waiting for change to being the change. And if I can do it standing where I stood, you can too. Stay with me. Your moment is closer than you think. The power of a single decision. That's where everything shifts. People think life changes in years. No, it changes in moments. In one choice. And I'm telling you this because I lived it. The day I decided I wasn't going to live small anymore, that I wasn't going to let fear sit in the driver's seat, that was the day everything started to move. You've got to understand, your life right now is the result of accumulated choices. Some were conscious, others you made without even thinking. But right now you hold the pen. And one choice, the choice to believe in your next level even before you see it, can create a ripple effect that shifts your entire story. Think about it like this. When a plane is flying and the pilot adjusts the course by just a few degrees, it doesn't look like much at first. But over miles and miles, that tiny shift leads the plane to an entirely different destination. That's how decisions work. They compound. When I made my decision, I didn't have applause, I didn't have guarantees, but I had a made-up mind, and that was enough. I said, from today, I'm going to train like I already got the opportunity. I'm going to speak like I already have the stage. I'm going to prepare like I already have the promotion. And slowly but surely, the world caught up with the decision I had already made in private. The trap most people fall into is waiting until they feel ready. But readiness is not a feeling, it's a decision. You don't wait to feel confident to act. You act, and confidence comes after. So I want to challenge you today. What is the decision you've been delaying? What's the step you know you're supposed to take, but fear has been whispering? Not yet. That's the doorway. That's your moment. And it starts with saying yes, even when you don't have all the answers. One decision. Wow. That's all it takes. The power is not in waiting for conditions to be perfect. The power is in saying, I will move first and let the details catch up. That's when everything changes. Preparation before elevation. That's the truth nobody wants to hear. See, we all love the highlight reel. We love the big moment when the light shines and the doors open. But what we don't celebrate enough is the grind that happens in the dark. And let me tell you this plainly, every elevation requires preparation first. When I look back, the moments that felt the hardest, the times when it seemed like nothing was happening, that's when everything was actually being built. It just wasn't visible yet. Roots grow underground before the tree ever breaks the surface. And too many people get frustrated because they can't see their progress, not realizing that progress happens beneath before it shows up above. You might be in that silent season right now. No recognition, no opportunities, no applause, and it's tempting to think you're being punished. But I came to tell you, you're not being punished, you're being prepared. That silence, that's your training ground. It's where discipline is forged, where character is built, where you get strong enough to carry the weight of the blessing that's coming. Because let me tell you, elevation without preparation is dangerous. If you get the spotlight before your character is ready, that same spotlight will expose your cracks. But if you let the preparation process do its work, you'll be ready. You'll be solid. You won't crumble when the pressure comes. So don't despise the season you're in right now. Don't curse the days that feel small. Because every great calling requires a season where you're hidden, where you're developed in private before you're displayed in public. I know it's hard. I know waiting tests every part of you. But remember this, diamonds are formed under pressure, and in the dark, your silent season is not the end, it's the foundation. And when you embrace that, when you stop fighting it and start growing in it, that's when the shift begins. That's when doors start opening, because you're not just wishing for elevation, you're ready for it. Faith over fear, that's the battle that decides everything. See, fear will always show up when you're standing on the edge of your next level. It will whisper every reason why you can't. Every reason why you should shrink back. Faith speaks louder if you let. I had to learn this the hard way. I let fear run the show for too long. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of falling short. And every time I listened to fear, I stayed small. I stayed safe. But safe doesn't lead to success. Safe keeps you stuck. The day everything changed was the day I chose faith over fear. And let me make this clear. Faith isn't about having no fear. It's about moving despite the fear. It's about saying, I feel the fear, but I'm choosing to act in faith anyway. That's where power lives. When I looked at my dreams, they were always bigger than what I could see in front of me, and that's scary. But I realized, if my dreams didn't scare me a little, they weren't big enough. Fear is a sign you're on the edge of something significant. The key is not to let it paralyze you. Faith says, I believe in what I can't see yet. It says, I trust the process even when I don't understand it. And every major move I made, every door that opened, started when I chose faith. Not because I was fearless, but because I refused to let fear have the final say. So let me ask you, are you letting fear dictate your choices? Or are you stepping out in faith, even when it's uncomfortable? Because the breakthrough isn't on the side of fear. It's on the other side of obedience. And faith is the disciplined breakthrough. This is the turning point most people overlook. See, talent is good. It'll get you attention. But discipline is what keeps you there. And in my own journey, it wasn't the moments when I felt inspired that changed me. It was the days I showed up even when I didn't feel like it. People think success is about having some special gift. But the truth is, there are a lot of talented people stuck in the same place because they never mastered discipline. Consistency is louder than talent, and it's rarer too. I had to get real with myself. I asked, am I only working hard when I'm motivated? Or am I building habits that keep me moving even when motivation fades? Because motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes. But discipline is the muscle that carries you when motivation runs out. Every day I made a choice. Do I hit snooze on my calling, or do I get up and work on it? And over time, those small decisions stacked up. That's what created the breakthrough. Not one big moment, but daily discipline. Discipline is doing the right thing when no one's clapping. It's training in private for an opportunity that hasn't even shown up yet. It's saying no to distractions, no to excuses, no to comfort, because you know what's at stake. I'm telling you right now, if you want your moment, it's not about waiting for some big chance to fall in your lap. It's about building discipline every single day so that when your chance does come, you're ready. Cutting loose. This was one of the hardest lessons, but also the most free. See, you can't rise while you're still tied to people and habits that are pulling you down. Elevation requires separation. I had to get honest about who and what was in my life. Some people were anchors, not wings. They kept me comfortable, kept me small. And as long as I stayed connected to them, I couldn't fly. And it wasn't just people, it was habits too. Procrastination, self-doubt, unhealthy routines. These things felt familiar, but they were my chain. When I finally decided to cut loose, it was painful. Walking away from relationships, changing my environment, breaking old patterns. It felt like loss, but what I gained was freedom. And with that freedom came clarity, focus, and energy to pursue my calling. If you're serious about stepping into your next level, you have to take inventory. Who's feeding your fear? What habits are building you? And which ones are breaking you? And which ones are breaking you? I kept looking for signs, for confirmation, for someone else to validate me. But the shift happened when I stopped waiting and started moving in obedience to the calling that was already inside me. You got a calling too. That dream, that pull you feel, that's not random.